morning, traders. This is the second part of our webinar. All the daily webinars that we do in our trading room is out on YouTube. If you guys like it, share it. Let's go. So Bitcoin, let's go back to the 1 hour. And yep, it likely could go up from this point. I hope you're looking for a buy setup because this is over. That is definitely over. We broke the low. This is the point from where it can go back up. So if this is going to go back up, you want the trade, right? You can see the pattern we're looking at. Yeah, so we want that trade to the upside. Put it in the 1 hour now, wait for a flag, get in the trade. Was there a flag already? Well, smaller versions if you're looking for it, but what you want is a bigger flag here. I think we're kind of consolidating already. If you get a consolidation here, that's a buy. Now, remember, this buy doesn't necessarily mean that this will be the one all the way to the top. So let me go back to the big picture for those who are watching it. Two ways you can look at it, right? This is the one that goes all the way to the top. And this was all the correction here with a big flat at the bottom here. No problem with that flat being there, right? But very likely when you see a flat that is so big, we have to make sure we exclude the possibility that when it comes here, making a new low and then go. That's the only thing you have to be. So from this level here to the breaking this stop is all you're going to have to put it to positive. And that's not a problem, right? Even if you're a long-term trader in this, all you have to do is if you get into a buy here on a 1 hour, you get a 1 hour flag, you take the buy, you get a 1 hour consolidation here, you get in the buy. And when it gets to this level, so you bought at, I don't know where, 4,800, 4,800. Let's say you buy here, that should be 48.96. That's somewhere around here, right? So 48.58, somewhere there. By the time it gets to about 46, I think you can put an entry order to sell it somewhere around 45, even much higher, right? Which means if it's going to turn, you get out of it there, right? But if it continues to go, you stay with it. That's all. Pretty simple. And both of those are possible. Now, is this the one that is going to start the up move? I don't know that. How many up moves we had? We had this one. That was a flat. We had this one. We had this one. We had this one. So there's a chance this could still come here, come back here, make another flat, make a new low, right? I hope that this is the one that goes because at this point, it is pretty okay. That one could be the one. So you take the trade if you get the setup and then you have enough time to manage it. ETH, same thing here. It's going, it doesn't have to come all the way to this level. We're looking at the same pattern, right? It could stop to exactly this point here and go up from there. So if you get a buy setup, the trade is ready to go. And you might be getting a buy setup because I'm on the 4 hour and it's consolidating. So you're literally getting a consolidation here. If that turns out to be the consolidation we're looking for. So you want something like this. And that could be your buy setup. XRP. Okay. So take this out. This might not, there are two ways you can look at this. I think we looked at it yesterday. Either this is a contracting flat, this is the low we're going up, or we're going to come here, make a running flat and make a new low. In both options, this one would either do this or it will come to this level and drop. So this is your first trade, which means you can wait for a flag here. And if you get, let me erase that and show you. If you get a flag here now, this proves that it's a flag. We buy this one to this level and put an entry order here to sell it, right? If you're long term, put an entry order to sell, which means you're positive if it drops. If it continues to go, we go with the contracting flat. If it drops, we go with the running flat. All contracting flats can become running flats in the future, right? That's a problem with contracting flats. I think the upside is more likely, right? Because at this point, that is enough for them to go. But if it becomes a running flat with a big, like this, see, this one, you're going to make an argument for a contracting flat at this point until it does this. And then you said, okay, great, we'll have to go with the running flat, then the upside. See, the same thing here. If it comes here and it comes back down, good. But if it comes here and it keeps going, we go with the contracting flat. Let's see which one works. Could this part be the low or is it just a deeper correction? I think we did break the low. So if you get a buy setup here, take it. They're all showing that same structure now. You will take this until it comes back to this top. So this is another option you look. Since we broke that low, this is another option you have to look at. Is it making a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we make a new low? Buy it here And by the time you get to the top there, you can put it to positive, right? If it drops, good. If it goes up, you stay with it. Because this, it could be a possible expanding triangle. I don't think it is. I think the expanding flat is all you have. So the buy setup is a good idea. Right? If we get a buy here, it's a good idea. Can it actually drop from there? Well, you will not be in the buy, you will not get the flag, and then you don't care about the sell. We're not trying to sell it. Idea? Same here. If they're going to go back up, wait for flags buy. If the flag doesn't go anywhere, well, you can always close a trade. This one might be a little difficult because this one has more options than simply a running flat here, right? This one has the option that this could be a small flat and this could be a running flat. See? And down. So this one might be a little more difficult, but take the trade, especially if you're long-term on them, you take the trade and you get a chance to get out of it, right? You're at bottom, so buying is pretty easy. I think this one should go a little lower, unless we think there's one more up move in this again. I don't think this one is coming down really slow, but you can make an argument for a running flat here, and which means this can come one more down. It would be better for us if it actually breaks the low, then go back up, right? Then look for the upside, because if it starts to go back up from here, we're still in the consolidation. It still has to drop and then go. So let's see. I don't think we're looking for a buy here. We're looking for a sell most likely. And you don't want to sell it. You want this to drop. And then we look for the buy. Dash. Okay, so we broke the low. Let's see what happens now. Well, pretty much any buy setup you can start to go with, right? If you get a buy setup here. Any buy setup you can go with. So if we get a buy setup here, we should take the trade to the top. And let's see what happens from that point. Take this off. So all you want now is a flag. You want a flag here and you're ready for the buy. Right? This one, I think this one could go lower. Because if they go up from here, it will be kind of an expanding flat or a more complex pattern. So better for us if they drop to the low and then go back up. We'll see. Some of them are looking like they can drop some more. Most are looking like they can go up first. So let's see. This would likely drop. Even if this goes back up, it will likely drop. Which means if this come and break the top here again, this would still drop. So this is the only one you can absolutely say that you know, this thing is almost 99% is going to drop. Okay, this is pretty easy. And this, we did break the low. So finally, if you get any buy setup, go for it. We don't have to break this low. We need to break this low, and we broke it. So any buy setup, I'll say go for it. Excellent. Can we look at this as a more extended flat here, this bigger version? It's possible. Keep an eye on it. It's possible it could be that one, or we'll have to see if this belongs to something else at the top there. Yep. From here, any buy setup would be good. It can go lower, but any buy setup is perfect. Take the trade. This should go lower. Don't buy this in. Let's see here. Well, from this point, I think that probably the higher probabilities we go back up. Right? We'll look at this as a running flat. And then come here and come back down. So there's a trade to the upside. Let's see if we get a flag. If we get a flag, it's a good buy. These are good buy setups. So if you're trading cryptos and you start to get a buy setups here, you get a flag there, that would be a good one. You don't have anything right now, but you need to wait for this to make a flag. And then that becomes a buy. And let's go. Same here. I'll just go through really fast. This one we don't have. We're out of this trade. I already told you yesterday you should be out of that trade. It's going to make a new low. You can see that this already kind of making a running flat here. So this one would probably drop, make a new low here. And then you look for buys when you break that low. Right, then you look for buys. Could this be making a bigger flat pattern here where they come here, go back up there and drop again? Well, if you buy here and it comes back up here for a running flat. So let me draw that a little clearer for YouTube viewers. My viewers will get it, right? So this is going to drop, right? You can buy beyond this low with or without the setup, right? If we're long term on this, right? So this you're long term on this, you're either trading it without the leverage or with very small leverage. So if you buy here and they go there and this becomes a running flat because of this flat in the middle here, right? If that becomes a running flat, then from this point to there, all you have to do is put it to break even, but put an entry order to sell back. So if they drop again, you're out. But if it is not that and this is some kind of a contracting flat, then this thing takes off. So the same thing, you bought here, you close this trade for profit. You don't want, that's not the profit you're looking for if you're long term, but you're getting out of the trade pretty good. Now, at some point, this will come back to the top here, and then you will exit the trade and you look for the downside, which means you'll have an order to sell and an order to buy back in case you're wrong. But most likely that order to sell, if they start to drop, will come and make a new low here, and then you buy back again. Why skip the possibility of buying here and selling here? Even if this is going to come down, you can just take, this is a good impulse you can get, right? This move is a good one you can get. I don't know, if you buy at 0.20, let's say you buy at 0.2 and you sell back at 0.3, I think that's good, right? That makes sense to me. And this one, yeah, this would likely go lower. We haven't broken this low even, so we need to break that low. And much lower, and this one is what? This would probably go break the low too. It's going down slowly, but with all this pullback here, I think it's pretty normal. It will probably do this, and then you look for buy setups. Right, when we break the low, here you will have to get a setup because we don't have a structure whereby this says that it will go back up, right? It could continue to go down. So here you will take the trade only when you get the setup. When it breaks the low, we'll wait for the setup. And this one, it already broke this low, but that's not enough unless we're making a bigger flat here, right? Unless this is becoming more complex. So I don't see this taking off to the upside. And that looks like the flat. So, but in any case, with a big flat like this, right, it should go lower. And then we'll see. I don't think they will take off from this point. So let's see if it goes lower. The buy is a little too early here. You'll need a really good flag before you go into the buy. If by tomorrow we get a really good flag, then we consider it for a buy. Right? So it did break this low. So you can call this pattern complete. Right? This piece is complete. Completed. 1, 2, 3. This should go lower. I hope it's a flat here and then we drop lower. So that's it for the cryptos. Let's go through these very fast. Still nothing here. If it starts to make a flag here, then you can sell to come back to this low. Otherwise, stay away from that. Natural gas, it's making a deeper correction, much deeper than expected. Can we look at this as a possible running flat? No. I think this you could probably look at as possible running flat. This one you look at as a bigger correction forming here. And if you get that, this would be a perfect sell, especially if it's a bigger flat like that. US oil, it's coming down. So now we're stuck in the middle of the unknown, right? Because if this didn't break the top, if that's a contracting flat, this might make a flag and drop. If you're going to take this flag, you have to take it with caution because we don't know how this pattern could be complex, right? How complex it can be. They can come here, go back there, come here, go up there, make a running flat, and then drop. So this would be a flat within that one. So you don't want to be trapped inside. That's why trading inside the consolidation itself can be difficult because it can get more complex, right? So if you're going to get a flag here for a sell, you'll have to sell it with caution. I don't think we're going to have any buy setup here today. UK oil, same. If you get a flag for a sell, you have to sell with caution, assuming that that's a contracting flat with the possibility of it becoming more complex. But we'll take the trade and then we'll see what happens from there, right? PayPal, it's at the bottom, just leave it. Wait for a buy setup. At this point, you want to buy either for a correction, a deeper correction. I don't think it's going to be a reversal. It's a deeper correction. This is one sharp move back. You know, we reversed all of this. So this is a really sharp move back here. You want a correction. And then if they're going to go down more, great. So selling it here is useless. Right? Tesla. It's still consolidating there. So the sell is still open. The sell is still possible. It's in the daily. We're still consolidating in the 4-hour and the 1-hour, it's still a consolidation. Right? This is still a consolidation. Even if it goes back up, it's still a consolidation. So the sell is still likely. Amazon. Well, if you sold, you could put it to I think you could put it to break even, because if they're making a more complex pattern here, by going up again, you'll get out of that trade. So put it to break even. Could it be they're making 1, 2, 3, and then drop? Well, you'll be out of the trade. I don't think it's doing that, but put it to break even. US 30. Okay, we haven't broken the low. We'll probably still go break the low. So there's a good chance you're just making a bigger flat here. So wait for this to come back here. Wait for it to go back. You get a flat, and then we look for a sell. All of that could happen today. S&P 500, same would be here. I don't see where this goes back up. Let's see. What if we pull it like this? What are the chances of this thing going back up from that point? For a much more complex pattern. So like go back up here and then come down back like this. That is possible. But let's go back and take a look. So what you do in that case is, if you get a flag here, you go for the buy. If you get a flat, you go for the sell. Right? We don't have anything as yet. That'll take a while. And the same here. All of this were the sell. So this one doesn't have the same pattern. This one has a totally different pattern. Right? Pattern here is absolutely different. So at this point, we most likely will expect a flag or a flat and a sell setup. I don't see the buy setup here as yet. So let's see if we get a flat and we go for the sell. Yep. If you sold it at this point, you're going to stay clear of it, because that deep pullback means we're going to probably stay in this range for a while. 2 sharp moves, so we'll be there for a while. And Nifty. We're making the bigger correction now, the one I showed you earlier. So I think we're making one similar to this one, right? With this move, going back up here, maybe something like this, and then look for the sell. And let's go. I think that's it. We just completed it, right? So I think we finished that. I'll just stop the recording. Please share it if you like it.